GCSE working out all three averages for continuous data. Now it's all tabulated. All tabulated grouped frequencies are continuous. The reason for that is we can have in-between values within the group. Okay, so here we're talking about the table giving information about the annual salaries of 70 employees in a company. So here it's saying between 10 and 20K, so the salaries in thousands, you have 4 people. So it's continuous because you don't know what the exact values are in here. So you can have anything in between. Okay, so 4 people between 10 and 20K, 18 people between 20 and 30K, etc. Part A is just saying write down the modal class. Okay. Now here we have to write down the modal class because we don't know how these frequencies are distributed within each group. Okay, so we don't know what the mode is. The modal class is the one with the highest frequency, the most frequent salary. The most frequent salary group is the 30 to 40K group. Okay, so write down the modal class. I'm going to write down this. So 30 S 40. Okay. They just said the modal class, not the salary range. Okay, but if you're feeling paranoid, you could say 30K to 40K inclusive. Okay, 30 is non-inclusive here. This is the main part of what I'm trying to show you guys, is to estimate the mean salary and then using linear interpolation to find the median. Now, why do both of these say estimate? Because like I said before, they can ask you this, why is your answer an estimate? It's because we don't know how these frequencies are distributed within each group. 4 people could have had 10K. 4 people could have had 20K. 2 people could have had 15K. 1 person 18K. 1 person 20K. Okay, we don't know how those frequencies are distributed within each group. So, for that reason, we know the median is the total of all the frequencies divided by however many numbers there are, right? But because we don't know how these frequencies are distributed within each group, we average this group using the midpoint, okay? So we say, all right, I don't know, so I'm going to say 4 people had an average salary of 15K, all right? So we call that X. So I'm going to do over here. Usually, we'd have like an extra column here. So we're going to have X, which is our midpoints. And I'm going to have my frequencies over here, okay? So here, my midpoint is going to be 15, 25, 35, be careful guys, sometimes it's not always 10, sometimes the last group is like 50 to 100 or something, okay? So 25, 35, go by one, 45, and 55. Okay, so we're saying 4 people have that, 18 people here, 27, 16, and 5, okay? So what we're saying here now is we're not dealing with the groups, we're saying 4 people had a average salary of £15,000. 18 people had 25,000. So how do we find the mean? Well, if we were to list this all out, it would say 15, 15, 15, 15, 25, 25, 25, 25, 18 times. I don't want to have to do 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15. So to find the total, we first multiply across. We say, look, I don't want to do 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15. I'd rather just do 15 times 4. And it'll be the same thing for all of these. We just multiply across. Well, the first one's easy. That's 60, right? But you can never be too sure. I just typed in 4 times 45. I don't know why. But 60. Now, we call this column XF. So 60, 25 times 18, 450. 35 times 27, 945. Always double check you've typed it in properly. 35 times 27. 45 times 16, 720. And then, someone's having a party, mate. 275. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but some youths were clapping in it. So, then we add all this up, because remember, we're trying to add up all of these values. Okay, it's just we made it quicker by just multiplying across. So we're going to add these up. Okay, so we have 275 plus 720 plus 945 plus 450 plus 60. 2450. Okay? Then we need to divide that by the total frequency, which I already know is 70. Okay, but if you want to double check, you can add these up just to make sure I type this in properly. Yeah, 70. So my mean is 2450 divided by 70, which we might need to round. 2450 divided by 70. Oh, 35. So my mean is actually £35,000. Okay, so be careful. Don't just write 35. Right, so I'm going to put that answer here, and I'm going to rub this out because of what I need to do next. So it's £35,000. Use linear interpolation to estimate the median. Okay. Now, let's just talk about the median for a second. Median means the middle number, right? So if there's 70 people, and we're dealing with continuous data, you just divide by 2. So the median number, 35. We're looking for the 35th person, okay? But how do we find the 35th person when we have a range? Okay, this is where we use linear interpolation to be able to do that. Okay, and I'll explain that in a second. So to find the median, we need the running total. Okay, so we're going to do the cumulative frequency first. Okay, so I'm going to actually extend this table to have the cumulative frequency column. So I'm going to write CF. Now, what does that mean? You copy and paste the first one. Okay, now what does that mean? It means up to 4. So cumulative means up to. So up to 4, or up to the first 4 people, the salaries go up to 20. So the first 4 people have salaries up to 20. Okay, so up to the 4th person, the salaries go up to 20. Then we talk about the next 18 people. Okay, so up to the next 18 people, which when we do 4 plus 18, which you can never be too sure these days, is 22. Up to the 22nd person, all the salaries go up to 30k. So the first 4 people, the salaries go up to 20. Then as we go up to 22, this first 22nd person, or the first 22 people, the salaries are 30k. Then we talk about the next 27 people. That goes up to 49, the 49th person. Okay. Up to the 49th person, we're putting all these people in order of the smallest salary to the largest salary. Up to the 49th person, all the salaries go up to 40, nothing more. Then the next 16 is 65. The 65th person, up to the 65th person, the salaries go up to 50k. Then finally we get the 70th is 60k. Okay? So these are the running totals. Okay? So up to 20k is the first 4 people, up to 30k is the first 22nd people, etc. Okay? So that means between the 4th person and the 22nd person, their salaries are somewhere between 20 and 30k. Okay? Now we're looking for the 30th person, right? So my median is 70 over 2. We're looking for the 35th person. Okay? Now where is the 35th person? Well, the 35th person is between the 22nd person and the 49th person. So the 35th person is between the 22nd and the 49th, which means their salary is between 30 and 40. Okay, so that median salary is between 30 and 40. And this is where we use linear interpolation. So a lot of the time at GCSE, we'll have a cumulative frequency diagram, which we can then read across. With a cumulative frequency diagram, we should be drawing straight lines. We're linearizing this, information, which is why it's called linear interpolation. This is the algebraic version of not having to draw a cumulative frequency diagram. So what we do is we draw a number line. And we say the median that we're trying to find is the 35th person. And the 35th person is between the 22nd and the 49th. Okay? And we said that person, being the median, has to have a salary between 30 and 40k. Okay? Now I'm just going to remove this information here because I don't need it anymore. Let me write that 30 again. Now, because everything's in proportion, this is a number line, okay? Meaning, this gap relative to this gap has to be the same as this gap relative to this gap, because they're on the same number line. You can think of this as being on your x-axis, yeah? So this thing here is on your x-axis, and this thing here is on your y-axis, okay? So they're all in proportion. So what I said was, is this distance, how did you work out that distance? Remember, m is bigger, right? This distance here is m minus 30, relative to this distance. When I say relative, it means as a fraction. So as a fraction of this distance, or what's the distance between 30 and 40? It's 10, is the same as this distance, which is what? What's 35 minus 22? 13. So this distance here is 13 relative to this group size, okay? Which is 49 minus 22, 27, which you also had here, okay? So just to repeat, this distance relative to its group size is the same as this distance relative to its group size. So all we need to do now is rearrange for m. So we're going to multiply through by 10 to get rid of that denominator. Then we're going to add the 30 over. So m is 13 over 27 multiplied by 10. Then we're going to add 30, which is about what? 13 divided by 27 times 10 plus 30. 34.814 ... Now the question, I didn't write it down. I wanted it to the nearest pound. So I'm going to times that by 1,000 because it's in thousands, right? So my median is about pounds 34,815 because it becomes 0.81. And that is my solution. So this is all three averages for continuous data. Very important. I'd recommend you save this video, favorite it or whatever. Like the video for more. Subscribe for more maths content. I'll see you in the next video. Nice.